Hello everyone, and welcome to this series on automating your procurement process. In this video, we'll look at how to create a request for quotation in SAP Business ByDesign, and we'll also see how to receive supplier quotes on the system. Let's switch over to the system to see how this is done. SAP Business ByDesign is a permission-based system, and so users can only view things that have been assigned to them. To create an RFQ on the system, first of all, you navigate to the Purchase Request and Others Work Centers. You click on the Purchase Request view. Click on the drop down and select all purchase requests. You select the purchase request for which you want to create an RFQ, and then you click on Quick Sourcing Request. Now, once you click on Quick Sourcing Request, a sourcing request will be created and you would get a message displayed below the screen. Now, once the sourcing request has been created, to access it, you go to the Sourcing and Contracting Work Center and click on Sourcing Request. From the sourcing request, you can select it and then create the RFQ based on the sourcing request. Now you click on the drop down and select sourcing request from purchase request. From here we'll be able to see the sourcing request for our purchase request. First, you select the sourcing request that was created for the purchase request. If you remember, the item was resin, so we select the sourcing request and then click New RFQ for selected items. Now once you do that, it takes us to the RFQ page. The first thing is we can give the RFQ a description. So we can give the sourcing request a description. Next, we put in the submission deadline, the date at which all the bidders must have sent in their quotes. So I'm going to use this. And then we select our currency. You can also specify the validity date of the quote, meaning that when should the quote be valid until. So I'm going to use a date in December, and then we have the option of putting our purchasing unit, our buyer responsible, and also the company, which is mandatory. Now we also have different settings for the RFQ. For example, we can specify if we want a quote for all the items. We can specify if we want bidders to be able to add other items apart from the one that has been specified. We can also select if we want the bidders to be able to change their quote after submission. We can also select if we want bidders to be able to make changes to the quantity, if there's a tender fee required for them to submit their quotes, and also if we want to be able to add bidders after publishing this quote. Now we're going to leave it the way it is, and then on the items tab, we already see the item that was copied from our sourcing request. At this point, you can also add other items, but we'll leave it the way it is. Now on the delivery tab, you can also specify other information like the delivery date, the date you would like the item to be delivered. However, on the quotes, the supplier can still specify when they will deliver this item. I'm just going to put in. You can add additional notes here for your bidders, for example, or if it's an internal comment. You can add attachments as well, which will be shared across with the bidder once it is published. Now on the bidder screen, this is where you add your various bidders to the RFQ. At this point, you can select from the existing list of bidders. You can also select from you can also create a new bidder on this screen. So I'm just going to add 3 bidders. It's also possible to configure approval process for the RFQ, such that before it is sent to the bidder, it will be approved by whoever has been assigned to carry out the approval task. Now once an approval process has been configured, you'll be able to see it displayed there. And then the document flow, you can see all the documents that are linked to this RFQ, which gives the management visibility across the various processes. And then if there are attachments, you can also add them here. Once you are done, you click on the check button to ensure that all the fields have been populated properly, to ensure, for example, that your delivery date is not earlier than your submission deadline dates and other criteria that are being set. Now once that is done, you click send to bidders and the RFQ will be published. Also, your bidders would get notified. Now we can see our RFQs have been sent to our bidders. It's also possible to note that now after the RFQ has been sent to your bidders, you can receive the quotes manually on the system by going to the RFQ and quotes view of the Sourcing and Contracting Work Center, or through the use of the interactive form. When the RFQ is sent to the bidders, they get a document, a PDF document that they can update, and once they save it, it automatically populates the information within the system. Now from the RFQ and quotes view of Sourcing and Contracting Work Center, click on the drop down all RFQs, and then we can see our RFQ here. We can also filter by the ID, so we can see the bidders, we can see the quotes received. To receive a quote on this RFQ, we select the RFQ and then click new quote. Now once you select new quote, first of all you can see that there is a guided activity. In the first step, you need to select the bidder that you are processing their quote on the system, and then you put in the general information, like for example the bidder quote ID, the quote receipt date, say it was received today, so we select our date, and then payment time as well. So I'll just leave it as the way it is. Then I can also add additional notes. So first select the note type, is it remarked for the bidder or from the bidder, and then next step I'll enter the price. So we can see that we cannot add any item because while creating the quotes we didn't allow addition of other items to the quotes, and also we also did not allow changing of the product when raising the RFQ. So I'm going to put in the price and delivery dates. So you can see requested and then offered. Okay, so next I can check to ensure that everything is correct and submit. Now once you submit this and refresh the quotes, you would see that the number of quotes received for this RFQ will be 1. So let's just receive the other quotes. I can also see who I received the quotes from. So now I've received the quotes from the 3 bidders, and then we can click on the compare quote to see all the quotes side by side against the various criteria. Now we can see the 3 quotes received. You can also export it here to Microsoft Excel, and then you can share with all involved parties in the RFQ process so that they can make informed decision. Now we can see we can see the best price here, and then we can see the different deviations from the best price. You can see this is 3.8 per unit per kg. You can also see this is 4K and 4.5. Now if you expand the item, we'll also be able to see the price that they are offering, and we can also see the delivery date that they are proposing. So by the time we look at it, and based on different criteria, we have decided to award the contracts to bidder CAM Industries. Now once you award the contract, the system will automatically raise a purchase order that can be sent to the supplier automatically. So we can see your entries have been saved and code with ID 43 has been awarded. Now if you go to our purchase request and orders work center and we click on the purchase order view, we'll be able to see the purchase order that has been created and sent to our bidder. Thank you very much for your time. To find out more, kindly visit our website www.digitankng.com or send a mail to engage@digitankng.com. Think ERP, think Digitank.